One of the greatest things about camping is watching the sunrise, with a great cup of camp coffee, of course. But you can't stop there. You need to have a really great breakfast to go along with that. And today we're making pumpkin walnut pancakes with a mascarpone drizzle. Let's make this one. So here's a really great camping tip. Measure everything at home, mix it up at home, and then you're all ready to just dump when you're at the campsite. So today we've got a couple of ingredients here. We're going to start with our wet. We've got a little bit of milk, and we're going to add 1 egg and a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of oil. What gives it its flavor, the pumpkin flavor, is the pumpkin puree. Once our wet ingredients are incorporated, we're going to dump in our dry. So we've got this incorporated well. Now we're going to take all of our dry ingredients, and this has some typical pancake ingredients. So we've got other ingredients in this mix, which are typical of a pumpkin. The pumpkin frenzy is what I call it. So my mom used to make this pumpkin roll, which had a cream cheese filling, and it was something that she made for a lot of holiday season. So I've lightened it up a little bit, and I made a pancake version. So we're going to have a nice hot griddle here with a little bit of oil on it. We're going to use a plastic baggie. Just fold your sides down, and that will keep everything really nice and neat so it's not squishing out over the top. So we'll just put all of this into the bag, and then you're going to squeeze out the air and nip off the corner, and then we will just put them right onto our hot griddle. Make sure your griddle is nice and hot. And you can make these as big or as little as you want. I tend to like a little bit of a smaller pancake. The batter might be a little bit thick, so in order to make sure the insides are cooked well, you want to kind of just pop down the middle and kind of spread that out. That way you'll have a nicely done, crispy exterior and a completely cooked interior. So I'll set this aside, waiting for these to finish. I'll let you know that I made my mascarpone at home, and all it is a little bit of mascarpone cheese. It's like a cream cheese, but it's a little bit lighter. It's an Italian style cream cheese. And I put it into a plastic bag so I can pipe the glaze out over the top. You don't want it to be really thick because it is pretty sweet. It's got a little bit of powdered sugar mixed into it and a little bit of cinnamon. And this really is a holiday flavor. It kind of gives me a really warm kind of feeling inside. So when you start to see these little bubbles, usually the bubbles need to burst before the pancake is done on the underneath side. So we've got a nice golden brown bottom, and we're ready to flip. The good thing about camping and cooking outside is if you make a little bit of a mess, it's all good. So when you make your mascarpone at home, the one thing that you have to be careful of when you put it into your piping bag is that it'll be really kind of hard and hard to push out of the bag. So you need to let that soften just a bit before you actually try to put it out of your bag. This batch looks like it's finished, so I'm going to go ahead and plate these now. And remember, you always eat with your eyes first, so it's important to make sure that your food looks just as good as it tastes, but it has to taste really fantastic. So even if it doesn't look as good, we'll top it off nicely. There you have it. There is a pumpkin walnut pancake with a mascarpone drizzle. And I'll just have to test this out a little bit for you, let you know how it is. The sweetness in the drizzle is what really tops it off. It's not a real sweet pancake, but it does finish it off nicely. It's a good one. Trust me on this. Visit me at campingforfoodies.com for this recipe and a whole lot more.